Hey everyone, it's Tyler of Fire Sabers. We've been getting a lot of questions about the different types of cores that we offer, and there's starting to be more and more, so I just wanted to real quick run through all of them. These are all standard cores, and then we've got a whole other section of specialty cores, but those all use the same boards, just in like specialty chassis, whether you have a double core or a thin neck core, stuff like that. So real quick, let's take a look. Okay, so we offer two types. We have baselit, and then we've got the pixel ones. Let's just go ahead and start with the baselit, and this is our 6 font. This is probably our most basic. This is an older model, but I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick. Okay, so first we got the 6 font board. This is probably the oldest core that we offer currently. We don't have a whole lot of them left, but I figured it was worth mentioning in the video since people are asking anyway. This one's got 6 sound fonts on it, but it does not have smooth swing of any kind, so it's literally just swing sounds. It does still change color. That's pretty much it. Okay, next up we have the 4 font board, which is actually newer than the 6 font board, but it's actually got a couple extra features on it. This one kind of replaces the stunt boards that we had because it costs exactly the same amount from the manufacturer as the stunt did. It just kind of makes sense to offer only this one. And I know if you're looking for just something basic with basic sounds, this is honestly probably the best board that you can get for the price. But if you just want stunt, you just set it to mute. If you want to disable the flash on clash, you can actually clip off this little silver cylinder right here. That's the flash sensor. So if you clip that off, it gets rid of your flash on clash. So this is basically, it's a stunt board with some sound. It has absolutely no smooth swing. Very crude and basic, but like I said, this replaces the stunt board, so it's kind of like the sound is just a bonus. But it does have the quick color select, which is nice. So if you hold this down for 3 flashes and let off, it'll start jumping through the colors, which is something that the stunt board did not offer. So I'd rather just sell these instead of stunts. Alright, so next up we've got the RGB-X, which is where they integrated the smooth swing into the baselit. And this one has 9 sound fonts, and I'll demo the smooth swing really quick. So that was a really nice feature that got added. Alright, next up we have the RGB-X V3. So far this has been the newest and best one, but I might edit this video later to add in more as they come out. But this is the latest and greatest here. Power on. So the nice thing about RGB-X V3, you've got the quick color jump. So I hold it down for 3 flashes and let off. It'll start jumping colors. You also have gesture controls, so you can twist on, twist off, and those can be toggled on or off through the button too.
Motion control off. So a second.
So it'll still change sound fonts.
Dark Ages. The Dark Sword.
But it won't do the swing on or the twist on or off. Then you can also toggle on and off the clash. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Clash off.
So this is really good for when you're doing spinning and such. You're not going to accidentally get those ghost clashes. And also, this one has 12 sound fonts. So just overall, this is the best board that's been out for baselit so far. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the pixel cores now. Pixel is where you really start to get into the customization and cool blade effects and all that stuff. So right here, first up, we got the Xenopixel. We got Xenopixel Deluxe, and then we've got the Xenopixel Master Core. They're basically exactly the same, except for obviously this is a much cooler chassis, and you get an extra inch of blade depth there, which is really, really helpful in terms of balance and just stability of your blade. The reason I call it Deluxe is because it has these illuminated pogo pins. You can see they let out just a little bit of light. Not enough to illuminate a baselit blade, but if you've got like a little, just a tiny baselit blade plug, it'll light that up pretty good, so that's nice. But let's go ahead and stick one of these in and I'll show you what it does. Alright, so one of the coolest features about Pixel over baselit is that you get the scrolling blade effect. So when you turn it on, you get that nice up and back down. Alright, went ahead and switch over to the shorter blade here so I can show you in frame. Nice thing about Xenopixel, you can still go in and you can change the config so that each individual sound font, and this comes preloaded with like 35 to 40, each sound font you can program its own individual blade styles and font effects and all that stuff. So if I go to this one here,
E11. I'll show you the dark side.
Alright, so that one's got like a red flicker blade. You can change the color on the saber, You can change the color, you can change the blade style, you can change all that stuff, and then it'll save it for the next time. But you can also change all that in the master config for each sound font. So if I go back,
E11.
this one might actually be better for me to show you with the longer blade. So that's like the blaster effect there. Then we've got
Fire Sabers.
Synthetic skies.
It's got rainbow blade and all kinds of cool stuff. Xenopixel is just a super user-friendly, all-around good board in my opinion. I'll show you the next one here up. Alright, so next up we've got the Proffie, or as I like to call it, Proffie, because I'm an Indiana redneck. This one is probably one of my favorite boards, even though it's a lot more complicated to use than Xenopixel. Almost everybody that gets it struggles with getting it set up for the first time on their computer. It's extremely difficult to have all the stars align to get it to take a config. Once you get to that point, it's super fun and it's super easy. But one of my favorite things about Proffie is that the blade styles you can make with the style editor online are really, really cool. You can do just about anything you want. So like on our sound font duality, we've got it set to just kind of like a nice purplish, but then when you swing it, it turns red. And you can do all kinds of cool effects with that, from anywhere from solid colors to rainbow to you can have like a blue blade with a red beam that just pulses up and down, all kinds of cool stuff. But getting to the point where you're able to configure it, there's lots of videos on YouTube that show you how to do it. It's just, I would not recommend this for a first-time Saber owner. This is really more for advanced users. All right, one more quick side note about the Proffie. So a lot of people have noticed this, and we get emails constantly about it. When you plug Proffie in, you'll notice there's no audio cues. The light here doesn't light up or anything. So there's no real way to know that it's charging, but there is. So if you triple click the button,
the battery level is 4.02 volts.
All right, so 4.02. Now if we plug it in, it'll read higher.
The battery level is 4.07 volts.
There we go. So we know that it is charging, the voltage went up. You're gonna be looking at somewhere around 4.01, 4.02. That's probably about max. You'll start having issues just because of how much power the Proffie uses. If you get down to like 3.6 volts, somewhere in there, you'll start having issues. Just charge it back up to full, it should act normal again. Alright, so next up we've got the Golden Harvest V3. Now there's a lot of debate in the community of Golden Harvest versus Proffie. There's pros and cons to both. Proffie, I feel like you can customize a lot more, especially with like the blade styles and stuff. Whereas with Golden Harvest, you customize pretty much everything from the Saber. The disadvantage there is that there's a lot more controls to learn. It's not quite as user-friendly as Proffie in terms of operating the Saber, but in terms of changing what you want to change, you don't need a computer to change everything. Just kind of up to you on which version you prefer when it comes to that, but I'll demo the smooth swing. More or less the same. Once it's on and configured, it's very similar to Proffie. It's just kind of personal preference there. So that's our pixel cores. We'll update this video and add stuff as more things come out. Hopefully that gives you a quick little idea of what's what. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. We do have some more details about what each one does on our page under the About Electronics section. But if you have any other questions, feel free. We'll see you out there.